Hello everyone, welcome to Sly Entertainment, and one of my favourite genres of games is actually platformers. So I thought I want to make a list of my top 10 platformer games. Some will surprise you, some will be very well known, and some you may just have forgotten. But I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it. So number 10 is a game you've probably never heard of, and it's Mushroom Men for the Wii. I played this game as a kid and I just loved it because I always loved mushrooms as a kid. So you gotta be a little mutant mushroom, run around with inventions, and you also had the Force from Star Wars, which was interesting. It didn't make much sense, but it's really just a fun platformer where you're this tiny mushroom, so the whole world looks larger and everyday objects appear so much bigger in scale. And I always love scale in games, especially when you're a tiny character, so this game fit that for me. And the bosses in this were terrifying. There was a terrifying rabbit that still gives me nightmares, and many other creatures that we mutated, because I think it's an asteroid that comes down and it causes a lot of things to become mutant. But it's so fun to traverse around the locations, and I haven't really played this one in a long time, so maybe it's just nostalgia holding it up for me. I'm gonna go back and play it and re-review it, but for now it definitely takes number 10 just because I had so much fun memories playing as a kid. And number 9 is Lion King. Now, Lion King is one of my favorite Disney movies. It's probably my favorite Disney animated movies, but I'm also, of course, watching all Disney animated movies, and then I'll rank them too. But right now, it's definitely still my favorite. And I really wanted to play this game as a kid, so I remember my dad had to get it, not legally, because it was emulated back then, but played through an old PC, and we were stuck on it for so long. This game is so hard to beat, and it was maybe a kid's game, so I have no idea what they were doing, but all in all, it's a pretty good game as well. It may be hard, but once you get through it, it controls decently well, it looks pretty good, and it's Lion King. It has all the music, all the style, and it's really just a decent 2D platformer with the Disney license. However, I can't wait to be king level. I can go to hell. And at number 8 is a game I played only this year, Blasphemous, and this became one of my favorite games instantly. I had so much fun with this game. At first I thought it was going to be like a Dark Souls type game, and never really played one of them properly, but this just turned into this Metroid type platformer where such a unique location, and the lore reading up on it is so interesting. It's tough as well, but it's not too punishing. You can easily come back when you die, which is what I liked about it. So it was tough but fair, beautiful designs, really fun combat, really tight platforming, and it just got a DLC that I'll definitely be playing for Halloween, so I can't wait for that. But yeah, number 8 is Blasphemous. And at number 7 is the Crash Bandicoot Reignited Trilogy. I never really got into Crash as a kid, but when this Reignited Trilogy came out, I played through it, and it was so much fun, and I understand why people cared about Crash, especially my friend Jack. He absolutely loves Crash. He really wanted me to play this, and I'm glad I did because it was so much fun. We even raced each other, we did so much things. I played so much of this game. I liked number 1. Number 2, I had a love-hate relationship because there was one level which just made me flip. But number 3, that was definitely my favorite of them. But altogether, 3 games, 1 great package, looks amazing, plays amazing. There's a reason Crash Bandicoot is so fondly remembered. And at number 6 is Cuphead, which has my favorite art style of any game ever. 1930s rubber hose animation style is my favorite, hands down, animation ever, and this looks incredible. It's a game you can just look at. You don't even need to play it, you can just look at and enjoy it, and that just makes it special. But playing it, you're lured in with its friendly looking style, but deep down here is one of the toughest and most frustrating games ever, which is always fun though. Even when you lose, it's always fun, and that's just great level design and great game direction. It's half platformer, half boss rush. I do count it as a platformer though, and it does say platforming game, so I've put it here. But I love Cuphead, it's so much fun to play with friends, and if you haven't tried it, you should really go out and try this game because it's so much fun. And at number 5 is Sonic Generations. My favourite Sonic game, hands down. I think it is the best Sonic game in terms of gameplay and just levels, because it's all the best levels in one game. And you can play it through Classic mode, which is 2D Sonic, Classic, which is a lot of fun, but the best here is actually Modern Sonic, surprisingly, which is normally the hardest thing to get right, because modern Sonic games are never that great. There's some that are good, but most of the time it's a really hit or miss. But this game really hit it out the park. So much fun levels from the classic games you've played, so you already have the nostalgia bonus. Completely redone with graphics that still look good by this age, even though it came out like 2011. And you've got yourself a great Sonic game. It's a shame they haven't really been able to make another good one. Sonic Mania is the only other Sonic game that I'd say has been good recently. All the others have just been a bit meh, and Sonic Forces was so forgettable. But if you want to play a Sonic game, I highly recommend Sonic Generations, and it's definitely my favourite Sonic game. And at number 4 is Rayman 3. This is one that I don't think many people have honestly played, but it is the best Rayman game. And Rayman's gone to 2D now, though he hasn't been seen in so long. I don't know what Ubisoft are doing, or Ubisoft, but they have not brought Rayman back when it's a money-making franchise, and I'm really surprised there hasn't been a Rayman game. But I hope he goes back to 3D, because 3D Rayman was always my favourite, and this is prime example of why this game is so good, and the atmosphere is so unique. It's strangely creepy and whimsical at the same time. It's hard to explain, you really have to play it, but the hoodlums terrified me as a kid. They're still kind of creepy now, a bit less so, but so many fun levels, almost dungeon-like levels. It's such a unique game that you really need to play. Rayman has lots of abilities, very timed abilities though. I remember you had to go and get them in a certain time, which are like grapple hooks and stronger arms. But if you haven't played a Rayman game, play Rayman 3 for such a unique and great platform. And number 3 is one of my favourite platformers, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I loved this game as a kid, and as soon as Crash got done with its trilogy, I was begging for a Spyro remake, and I'm so glad they made it because it was so good, and it was better than the original, I'll say that now. The Reignited Trilogy is just perfected Spyro. And Spyro is a very simple game, right? You're going around a level, it's not that hard, but it just looks so good. It's such a chill game you can play. It's just so much fun to complete. If you've never completed a game before, try completing Spyro 1. It really doesn't take long. I've done it like 5 times now. You're 120% and get all the gems. It's really just a great time. Such a chill game, such a relaxing game. I love it, and I really hope a new Spyro game comes out. And the number 2 is a very brave pick for me, and a very, very controversial and not popular opinion, but my favourite Mario platformer is actually Super Mario Sunshine. And it is because it's the most unique Mario game with the FLUDD accessory and the movement you can do in this game. And tropical locations are my favourite locations in any game ever. I just love them. They're so much fun to explore in games. And water graphics are also strangely one of my favourite things in games. And this game's got some goddamn good water graphics, especially for the time. And I've recently been playing it in HD, emulated on the PC. I'm actually going to be doing a childhood game inspection review on it very soon, but it's just as fun as I remember. It's such a good Mario game because it's so unlike any other Mario game, which isn't saying that any Mario game is bad, but it's just there's so many of them and some of them do feel similar. And nostalgia definitely does put it up here for me, I can't lie. This is one of my most nostalgic games ever, but it's still a great game, and I think it's very underappreciated. Arguably, Galaxy and Odyssey is a far better game overall, but I personally have the most fun with this one. Nostalgia may be it, but still a great game that I think should be more appreciated in general. So at number 1 is the Sly Collection, and what can I say about the Sly Cooper series? It's one of the best games I've ever played. It's just like a Saturday morning cartoon, but the story's really good in this game. It really engrossed me. I love all the characters. It's open world, semi-open world, where you've got this location and it's half stealth gameplay, half turrets, half platforming, half action, half combat. There's so many different missions. It's so fun. Traversing around each location is amazing. Every mission was great. There's obviously the gimmicky ones, but you always get gimmicky ones on these platforms. It's kind of the charm about them. The bosses are great. The voice acting's great. It's just so engrossing. I got sucked into these games and I didn't stop playing them till I'd completed them all. One holiday, all 3 games. One of the best game experiences I've ever had, and my favourite platformer that I didn't actually have nostalgia for, so nostalgia isn't always everything. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. I'm actually live streaming tomorrow, so hang around for that. I'll upload highlights of it if you don't make it. But anyway, this has been Cyblock Entertainment. I'll be doing more of this soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.